What's up, guys? Jeff here from Worldwide Cyclery, and today we're going to talk about the most popular Schwalbe mountain bike tires. But before we get into it, do you think I look like the singer from Sum 41? Remember that band? So mountain bike tires can be a pretty confusing topic. There is an incredible amount of tires out there on the market to buy. There's a ton of different types of bikes out there as well. So it is sometimes challenging to figure out what tires might make the most sense for you. We made a video similar to this one where we sort of talk about the most popular mountain bike tires for Maxxis, which is, at least in North America, the more popular mountain bike tire brand. Maxxis has probably even more mountain bike tire models than Schwalbe does. I don't know if all of Schwalbe tires actually make it to North America. It is a German company, so they're likely much more popular in Europe than they are here in the States. But we've gathered the 6 most popular ones right here and gonna dive into a little bit of the model names here and what these tires are specifically used for. I've lined these things up from sort of the most cross-country to the least cross-country and most downhill-oriented tire. So the biggest difference with these things, weight, traction, and durability, those are gonna be the 3 things that really change when you look at the different models. So if you start out with the Thunder Burt, this tire is extremely lightweight. It's got very small knobs, so it's very fast rolling, and this is typically available in pretty thin widths. And the reason for that is because this tire is made for really just cross-country bikes. If you're on a hardtail and you're looking for a lightweight, fast-rolling tire, the Thunder Burt is probably your tire right here. And it's also typically used just on the rear. I've seen these on the front here and there, but it's pretty much always just a rear cross-country bike tire. Next up, Racing Ralph. So now we're getting into a little bit more tread. This is a pretty good, you can run this on an XC bike to a trail bike. You could probably put it on like an enduro style bike, but again, it's still a fairly lightweight tire, and you can see it has pretty small knobs and they're pretty flat. So again, this tire is more aimed at being lightweight and low rolling resistance. It's not made to have the best traction in the world. It's really just made for, like I said, weight and rolling resistance. If you get a little bit more traction, now you're talking the Rocket Ron. So the Rocket Ron is still pretty similar to the Racing Ralph. It's gonna have a little bit more knobbiness to it and possibly a little bit more weight to it and some different widths. There's a ton of different widths and compounds and casings available for all of these tires. We're gonna put a link below to a blog post where we go more in depth on all of that stuff, but we're just gonna do in this video an overview of what these things are really for. So Rocket Ron, this is still your cross-country / trail bike style tire right here, and a good one at that. If you're getting a little bit more knobby, yet again, the Dampf, this is probably equal knobbiness and discipline to the Nobby Nic, but the Dampf, typically you see these on the rear of a bike. It's a pretty popular rear tire I've seen for Schwalbe over the years. This tire's been around a long time. This same tread pattern and this same name is sort of notorious with Schwalbe. Been around a while, and it's always been a very good top performing tire, and I've seen it personally mostly on the rear. I think I've seen a couple people running these on the front, but I almost always see this as a rear tire on a trail or enduro bike. And when I say trail or enduro, I'm talking, 5 inches of travel to 6 inches of travel. And when I'm saying cross country, I'm talking 4 inches of travel and below to hardtail or to rigid, which is more this side of the table right here. Next up, the Nobby Nic. So this could be the most popular Schwalbe tire, at least that I can think of, that I would say just from over the years looking at different riders' bikes, and I've run these tires myself, so it's a popular name when it comes to Schwalbe. This tire, they had a different version of this, which I really liked. I kind of wish they still made it. This version, I don't know if it's quite as good as the last version of this tire, but this is their new iteration of it that's been out for, I think, probably a few years at this point, but a very popular trail / enduro Schwalbe tire right here, the Nobby Nic. And all the way on the other side of the table is the Magic Mary. So you can tell by just looking at this thing, especially in comparing it down the line here, this thing is the beefiest of all the Schwalbe tires, and you typically see this on a downhill bike. So very high side knobs, very high center knobs, very heavy Very strong casing, so pretty much enduro or downhill bikes are going to be running this tire right here. We actually did a comparison video of this tire versus a Maxxis Minion DHF because they often get compared as sort of these enduro slash downhill tires that are some of the two more popular ones from both brands. So people are often asking us as a retailer, hey, what do you guys sell more of? What do you think works better? So that's why we made a comparison video of the Schwalbe Magic Mary versus the Maxxis Minion DHF. But that right there is your 6 most popular Schwalbe tires and what riding disciplines they're for and sort of the differences in between them. So again, to just go over it briefly, you know, you have the Thunder Burt all the way over here being this ultra lightweight, fast rolling, sort of low traction cross-country tire, and then it goes this direction to get all the way to your Magic Mary, which is your enduro slash downhill tire with the most traction and the most weight and the most durability. So these all have a different use case for them, so it all depends on, again, what you're riding as far as the terrain, the bike you're riding, your preference, what you're looking for specifically out of a tire. Schwalbe makes great stuff. I personally am more of a Maxxis fan, but I don't really have an allegiance to anyone. I switched from Schwalbe to Maxxis. I tried some Michelin recently. I've been riding some WTBs lately. I really like some of their new tires. I like changing it up. There's definitely people out there that have a total allegiance to one brand, but all I can say on that front is just try some other stuff. It's cool to try different tires and really see what works for you, and especially as different riding conditions, you know, come about. Like I'll run different tires in the winter time when there's more rain and more traction than I would in the summer when it's sort of a dust bowl out in California. Let us know in the comments, are you guys running any of these Schwalbe tires? Do you hate Schwalbe? Do you like Maxxis instead? Do you hate Maxxis? Do you love Schwalbe? Do you like WTB? Let us know what your thoughts are on these tires, on the Schwalbe brand in general. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next one.